Hey guys, what's up? This is the boy who had 7. I am excited about today's video because we are going to be doing something a little bit different. I've been getting questions from you guys wondering like, who are you? Who's your favorite comic book character? Tell us about yourself. The boy who had 7 what? So today we are doing 7 fun facts about the boy who had 7. So my oldest son is going to be asking me some of the questions that you guys have sent me on different social media platforms. He's going to be asking some questions that him and his brothers and sisters came up with as well. And so let's get started.
How did you get the name The Boy Who Had 7?
Okay, that's important. I mean, people have literally sent me like questions. The boy who had 7 tacos, the boy who had 7 comic books, like the boy who had 7 what? So this is pretty funny. I like this name for 3 reasons, okay? Those of you that are Harry Potter fans will know that the first chapter in the first book is titled The Boy Who Lived. I am absolutely a humongous Harry Potter fan. I love the character. I love the book series. I love the writing. I can't get enough of it. I literally have read every single book more than 12 times. I just love Harry Potter. And so I'd always try to get online and, you know, for an email address or for an Xbox account or something, call myself The Boy Who Lived, but it's always been taken. Like, I had to be like The Boy Who Lived number 1002 or The Boy Who Lived number 76. So it never worked out for me. So one day we bought a new Xbox for Christmas. We're setting it up, and I'm sitting there thinking, the boy who what? The boy who's a wizard, the boy who this, the boy who that. And my son's like, hey, Dad, you have 7 kids, so why don't you call yourself The Boy Who Had 7? And we all started laughing. We're like, that's an awesome name. I absolutely love it. And so I've been using that now for a couple of years. Yes, you heard me right. I have 7 children. I do. So I married my high school sweetheart. We've been together 19 years. We have 7 children, and life is so awesome. It also gives me an excuse, and this is the 3rd reason I like to be called the boy who had 7, to continue to be a child at heart. I mean, my oldest is going to be 16 this year. My youngest is 6. We are reading comic books together all the time. We're on our knees playing with action figures and living life up as the boy who lived and the boy who had 7. So that's why I'm called the boy who had 7.
Who's your favorite comic book character?
My favorite comic book character? Man, that's hard. That's like choosing between my kids. I can't choose who my favorite is, but I've got 4 that I can go with. The first 2, one's Marvel, one's DC, and it's I can't choose between those either. Like, if you ask me Marvel or DC, I can't. I love them both, period. There's all there's to it. I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, DC and Marvel sucks, or Marvel and DC's like, no way, man. I can't get enough of either of them, and I love them both. I will tell you they have some bright moments, and they have some not so bright moments. But let's see. And DC, Batman. I absolutely love Batman. When I was a kid, I used to just get home from school, and I would, as soon as I got home, I'd be watching Spider-Man, Batman, X-Men animated series. I mean, I fell in love with those guys. Batman, I think it was 1989 or 1990, came out, and I mean, just Batman was the man. And so I fell in love with him. In Marvel, I fell in love with Spider-Man, and honestly, I love Spider-Man because you can relate to him. I was a little kid. He was, you know, a kid in high school that got bit by a radioactive spider. He was always trying to do the right thing. That's what I love about Spider-Man. He's always trying to do what's right, even if it hurts him, or even if it's hard for him, or even if it makes something in his life not work out. He always wants to do what's right. And so I love the selflessness and the sacrifice of Spider-Man. That always touched my heart, even since I was a kid. As an adult, the older I get, I fall in love with Superman, and I fall in love with Captain America. I love the fact that they both are powerful. I love the fact that they're both all about morals. I love the fact that they don't check their morals at the door. They are Captain America in front of you and behind your back and over here and over there and in the dark and in the light. They're just righteous, awesome, good dudes, and those are the 2 guys that I want to be the most like. So those are my 4 favorite characters in comic books.
Do you have any different hobbies aside from comics?
Oh yeah, I love so much stuff. So not only do I love comic books, but I love Star Wars. I mean, I am a Star Wars kid. I grew up with those Star Wars toys in my bedroom with lightsabers on my mind. It's funny to say this, but I bet a ton of you guys who watch this have tried it. I used to lie down in my room at night, and I'd sing to myself, thinking that if I believed enough, I could make the fan move, or I could turn the light on with the force. Okay, that literally is me. So yeah, I love Star Wars. I love Japanimation. Like Dragon Ball Z is one of my favorite things in the entire world. Dragon Ball Super right now is going on. Vegeta is actually my favorite character of all time above anybody. I absolutely love Vegeta. As you guys can see, I've got two of them in here. I love sports. Like when I need a release, I need to go play basketball. I need to go play soccer. I need to go play football with my friends. We go do that, or with my kiddos all the time. I love doing that. I love to sing. I love to play the guitar. I've been in a couple bands. I grew up singing my entire life, so I love to do that. And also, I went to school to become a writer. I graduated with a creative writing degree and a minor in religious studies, and I love to write. I've written a couple children's books. I have lots and lots of experience with kids and their personalities, and so I've written a book for my kids. I've also written some young adult books. Nothing's published yet, so don't go out and look for it yet. I haven't tried, but I'm going to be doing that pretty soon. So those are some of my hobbies, some of the things that I love to do that I love other than comic books.
What's your favorite comic and why?
Man, okay, so again, it's like picking from your kids, and I know I keep saying that, but I have different comics that I love for different reasons. Some of you guys have asked, like, why do you have these comic books behind you? They're nothing special. That's a Wolverine and a 7.0. I mean, that's special to me because I had Chris Claremont sign it right in front of me. It was my first signed comic book ever, so it means a lot to me here. I don't care if it's not worth a lot of money. That's not what I collect it for. I collect it because it means something to me. And this comic book right here, this one is the very first comic book that I bought for myself when I was 10 years old with my own hard-earned money. I think I washed the car or something, and my parents gave me $5. And so I went to a local sports card store, because in the 90s, like, sports cards were the big thing. Baseball cards, basketball cards, football cards. Everybody was collecting them. There's such a huge market. And then I walk inside, and there's just this little rack with comic books on it, and I saw this, and I absolutely fell in love with it. Like, I went there to buy baseball cards, but when I saw this picture, I saw Ghost Rider with this chain in his hand and a light through his heart and the fire on those tires and on his head and in the name. It just took my breath away, and this is literally the first comic book I ever bought. So it's really special to me too. But like, I got into comics because of my brother-in-law. So at the time when I was probably about 9 or 10 years old, he was probably like 14 or 15, and I thought, you know, when you're a young boy and you see this really cool guy, you just love this cool guy. I mean, I just looked up to him, thought he was so neat. And he ended up marrying my sister, gave her a kidney, and he ended up passing away from cancer. And so I miss that guy every day. He was my best friend. But he came into my room one day when I was this little boy, and he gave me like a stack of comics, like this big. And he's like, here, man, I just want you to have these. They're really cool. And I thought, this is the coolest thing of all time. And so two of the stories that were in there, two of the books that were in there were the Infinity Gauntlet books and the Death of Superman books. And I started reading those, and I just fell in love with those books. And the Death of Superman really got me into wanting to collect a lot of comic books. And the Infinity Gauntlet series is probably my favorite comic book series of all time. That's why all my videos are on the Infinity Gauntlet. That's why when I saw Avengers #1 and I saw all these characters that I just grew up loving, like, on the big screen, it just blew my mind. And I cannot wait for May to see Avengers Infinity War and how that's going to work out. So I'd have to say my favorite comic books are storylines, and it's probably Infinity Gauntlet and the Death of Superman.
What is your favorite music?
Oh, my favorite music's easy. I am a huge retro English 80s one-hit wonder and those type of things, synth pop. I just love that music. But easy, my favorite band of all time is The Cure. I love The Cure with Robert Smith. Some of our younger viewers may not know. If you do, you have awesome parents. If you don't, you guys need to look up this music. It's pretty cool. But like songs like Just Like Heaven, Boys Don't Cry, Pictures of You, Love Song, Friday I'm in Love. I mean, these are some of the best songs ever written. I love the band The Cure. I've been Robert Smith for Halloween like so many times. Just like I collect comics and stuff. I literally in high school had, I think, like 60 t-shirts of The Cure, and I would just wear a different one every day. And then once I got to the last one, I'd start all over again. I got my jeans and my Chucks on and my Cure shirt. Like, everybody knew me as a Cure guy. And so I'd always be playing Cure songs and stuff like that. But yeah, I love The Cure.
What's your religion?
My religion, oh, that's important. So I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. For those of you guys that don't know, we're also called Mormons. We believe in Jesus Christ. I believe that he is the Savior of the world. I believe that he suffered and died for all of our sins, and that he resurrected so that we can one day live with God again. I believe that he's my personal Savior and my Redeemer. I believe that he set up his church on this earth and gave us specific doctrine so that we can follow it. I believe he has commandments for us, and if we keep those commandments and do our best to do everything that he says, even when we fail, as long as we try, he will make up the rest and he'll save us. And so, you know, like I told you guys earlier, I'm a writer. That's what I went to school to do. I love to write fiction. And I realize also, as someone that plays music and writes songs, like once you publish your song or your book to the world, it's no longer yours anymore. The kid that picks it up in the room and reads it, it's theirs now. And everything that they believe, every experience that they've been through, every type of excitement that they have, like that they bring that to the book. They bring that to the song. And so, you know, whenever I read comic books, I bring what I believe and my life experiences to that book. And so when I see characters like Superman trying to be moral, and Captain America standing up for his country and for what's right, and when I see Wonder Woman sacrificing herself, like in that movie, oh my goodness, when she stood up and started walking and all those bullets were flying during World War II, like when I see things like this, all these actions, Spider-Man like giving up Mary Jane because he loves her so much and doesn't want her to get hurt by his enemies, when I see all these kind of attributes that superheroes have, it always reminds me of Jesus Christ. Like for me, you may not believe, and that's fine, and I'm not telling you you have to believe in Jesus Christ, but what I'm telling you is every human being brings their knowledge to that piece of fiction, and it means something to them based on what they believe in their life and what experiences they've had. And for me personally, when I see superheroes, it reminds me of Jesus, and it's something tangible, it's something fun, it's something real that just isn't like religion being banged on your head all day long, but it's like, hey, I can believe in a superhero and they can help me be a better human being. And I really believe that. I really believe life is all about being better tomorrow than you were today. And if you're always getting better and always progressing, then you're doing what life's all about. If you're the same guy that you were 15 years ago, 16 years ago when you graduated high school, liking the same things, looking the same way, you know, doing the same things, I don't think you've grown much. And that's kind of a sad thing. And so, yeah, I bring that with me. I believe in Jesus Christ, and I see him all over the pages of comic books. And you know what? Life really is a battle between good and evil. I mean, we see it around us all right now with all the horrible things that are happening. We need more heroes in this world. And if you really look at superheroes in the comic books, they're people that aren't quick to judge. They're people that are willing to sacrifice. They're people that are willing to give their enemies a second chance. I mean, there's so many good things about superheroes that we as human beings could emulate. This is why I love reading comic books to my kids. This is why I love reading it myself, and one of the many reasons. So, yeah, that's what I believe in.
Who is your favorite female character and why?
So I'm totally digging on Catwoman right now. I love her personality. I love the fact that she was a bad guy and a good guy and a bad guy, and right now she's like gonna marry Batman. I absolutely love her. My big sister, her nickname growing up was Cat. But I don't know. I mean, I have to say, out of all the superheroes, does my wife count? No. I'm thinking Wandy. I love me some Wonder Woman. I just think she is amazing. I love the fact that she's not all stuck up in this political justice stuff, but Wonder Woman is feminine, beautiful, but yet she can just beat the crap out of you if she has to. She's not all pounding with muscles the way they like to draw some of the women nowadays, but she's still slender and beautiful and physically attractive, but yet she's powerful. She has morals. She's gentle and kind. She's willing to give people chances. She has a religious background. Like, there's so many cool things about Wonder Woman that I just love what she stands for. And I love that she is willing to help people that can't help themselves, and that she's willing to, no matter what, stand up for what's right and to help anyone that she can. So yeah, Wonder Woman would be my favorite female character. So is that it? So yeah, that's 7 fun facts about the boy who had 7. I hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit more about me. If you have questions, just shoot them down below. Let me know what you think. I'm all about learning in life. I'm all about growing. I'm all about trying not to be closed-minded and shutting myself off to the world. There was that beautiful quote at the end of Black Panther where he said something like, we need to stop building barriers and build bridges. And I really believe in that. I think this world needs that right now so much. We have, the polarization of political parties, the polarization of gun rights and banning guns, and we have the polarization of conservatives versus progressives. Like, that all has to stop. There's so many of us that are conservatives that read comic books, and there's so many progressives, and there's so many liberals, and there's so many people that don't give a darn about either of them, and yet we all keep like pushing barriers up and saying, no, we're right, no, we're wrong, you're wrong. If we read comic books, we see that heroes, like true heroes, listen to the other side, learn from them what they can, and still stand up for their beliefs in a moral way, in a nice way, in a way that's not full of hate. And everybody keeps throwing that word around, hate, hate, hate. I hate your hate, so I'm going to hate you and hate you so much with hate. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, you hate somebody because they hate somebody, and they hate something, so you hate them. Like, it's just a perpetual circle of hate. Like, we've got to stop it. We really do. And I really believe, like, the more we teach our children about heroes, the more we teach our children about morals, the more we teach our children to love and forgive people, the better this world will be. If we don't do that, this world is going to fall into darkness, just like in the Dark Knight Rising comics that are coming out right now. There is a dark side, just like Stranger Things. There is an upside down. It's real, and we don't want to feed it. We want to suffocate it and get rid of it, and the only way we're going to do that is by loving one another. And so, yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Please comment down below, like and subscribe. I hope you got to know the Boy Who Had 7 just a little bit more, and I hope you guys continue loving and reading all about heroes and comics. Thanks. Talk to you later.